guys, and welcome back to my parents' kitchen. Today we're leaving the known and moving to the unknown. We are making a recipe that is not on my dad's channel. I will be presenting it to you all by myself without the help of my dad. And with that being said, we are making a taco de birria. Let's go. To make our birria tacos or our taco de birrias, here is what we need. Starting from my left, which is your right, as always, we have our main ingredient, which is beef shanks, 2.5 kilos. I kept the bones in my beef shank. It's gonna give our sauce a lot more flavor. Moving on, we have our cheese, mozzarella, a big block. For the cheese, it's up to you. If you wanna use cheddar, go for it. We will be building our tacos with tortilla shells, about 6 inches wide. I have a lot of them, we're making a lot today. And to cook our meat, we will use 1 full onion. To make our consommé, here's what we need. There's a lot of small items, but we'll go slowly but surely. For the quantities, I'm eyeballing most of them. You want to get about this much. A couple pepper grains or a couple cloves, too much or too little won't change much. Starting with the pepper, about 4 grams. Cloves, 2 grams. 1 stick of cinnamon. About 2 grams of cumin. 2 grams of dried thyme. For my garlic, 2 sets of about 4 to 5 cloves. And for the spice, peppers. You may be unimpressed by my lack of peppers over here. I'm not a spicy boy, I don't like too much spice. I'm using 3 baby peppers and 1 habanero pepper. To make a traditional taco de birria, you should have a guayita pepper. I don't have that in my local supermarket. Please don't cancel me. I'm using this instead. And a personal touch that I like to add is chipotle pepper mash. For its consistency, it's about like this. And for our fresh boys, we need cilantro, oregano, and bay leaves. And for our consommé, we will also need beef broth and duck fat. Let's move on to our first step. We will start off with the longest part of the recipe, which is to cook our beef. It can take a long time, so let's start as fast as possible. In one big pot, we will turn the heat on high, and we will add just a bit of duck fat inside to start cooking our beef. Once we're at about 250 degrees Celsius, we will add in our beef shank. My pot is nice and hot, beef shank, and place it inside. We're not cooking it, we only want to color it. I'll start with 2 now, and the third one I'll do it later because my pot's a bit too small. After about 30 seconds, we will turn, and we'll wait another 30 seconds. After another 30 seconds, color the sides, and turn. After a total of about 1 minute, I will reserve my beef in a pan, a tad more duck fat, and we'll move on to our third one. After about 30 seconds, again flip, and another 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, flip again, heat off, and we'll reserve. All of this nice brown crispiness is good. It's gonna add a lot of taste to our sauce later on. And the fact that we kept the bones on our beef shanks will also give our sauce a nice richer taste. And now very quickly, we'll move on to our onion and garlic. Onion on the table, we will cut 2 pieces for later, and the rest of our onion in 4. And we will throw it in our pan. And now our garlic. 1 bunch of our garlic, the other half will be for later. We will crush it, and we'll add it with our onion, like this. It looks a bit too healthy for my liking. I'm gonna add some duck fat to my garlic and onion. After about 30 seconds, I put my heat back on to medium. We're slowly caramelizing our onions. It's going really well. About 10 seconds later, we will add our beef broth, starting with 1 liter. Turn the heat back down to low. We will unstick anything that was stuck on the bottom of our pot. It's gonna add a lot more flavor in the end. In our 1 liter of beef broth, I am going to add our dried thyme and cumin, about 2 grams also. Stir it all in. No salt right now because our beef broth is gonna reduce slowly, and we do not know how much we're gonna have at the end. We don't want it to be over salty. And just stir it in. Shake and bake, baby, let's go. I was never good at basketball. This is the only basket I can do. A basket on the table, we'll open it up. To our basket, we will add some bay leaves, about 6 to 7 of them, few leaves of oregano. Make sure it all fits inside nicely. Crush it down just a bit. We will add our whole pepper, cloves, and a stick of cinnamon. Close it all up, trap it all in, and now we will incorporate it with our beef broth. We'll add our beef shanks inside, third one on top. All that juice on top. We need to cover our beef or else it will never cook. So another liter of beef broth. And now let's spice things up a bit. We need our peppers, garlic, chipotle mix, and we need a bowl. Let's make some room and start with our peppers. 3 baby peppers. We will remove the stalks. We will cut them in 2 lengthwise to remove the seeds, open them up, and remove the seeds. If you have a couple seeds still inside your pepper, it's not the end of the world. We're gonna be blending it up anyway. So we will reserve for later. Move all the seeds out of the way. We'll move on to our habanero. Also into, de-seed, and cut into yet again. Make some more room. Garlic on the table. Smash our garlic. And our garlic we'll put inside our big bowl. In our big bowl, we will add our chili peppers, 1 good spoon of chipotle mixture. To our mixture, I'm gonna add about 250 milliliters of crushed tomatoes. With about 200 milliliters of water, I'm gonna rinse out my measuring jug. I am not trying to waste anything today. And now, let's blend, baby. Up and down, turn around, and we're good to go. Shake, and now let's bake. Let's investigate what we made. We have a nice, deadly spicy paste. If we eat it right now, it's gonna hurt going in and going out, so let's not do that. We'll shake our spoon, gonna take a dive in the sink, and now let's move on. Our beef is in the broth. Now we'll add our 500 milliliters of tomato paste and spiciness all inside. We have some more in the container. Grab some water, mix it all out. We'll mix it all in. Bring the heat back onto medium until it simmers. It's starting to look a little bit like a jacuzzi. It's starting to boil just a bit, 99 minutes, and turn the heat down to medium low, and now we just have to wait. And also, do not forget to cover. We don't want our sauce to reduce too much. Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Well, you guys didn't go anywhere with movie magic. I waited about an hour and a half. We have 5 minutes left to our beef, and now let's continue our prep work. So with that being said, let's get back to work. What we have left to do is our onion, our cheese, and our coriander. Let's start with our onion. We need to finely chop our onion. It'll be our garniture for on top of our tacos. Grossly chop it, turn, and grossly dice. Slice and dice. Bring the bowl back. Moving on to our cheese. We will grate our cheese. We will not use all of our cheese. We'll grab one of our 2 blocks. I am only doing a small portion now. The rest will be for a later time. The rest I will keep for later. Shake any of the excess. And the cheese we will reserve. One last step, our coriander. Bowl for another time. On the chopping board. And we will finally chop. That's enough for now. Grab it all together. Slice and dice. And we will need all of this stuff in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna clean my table and we'll move on to our beef. Our beef is ready. I'll take the lid off with a glove from the NASA because this beef is out of this world. In the sink, glove is done. And now let's go fishing. 1, 2, and 3. And now let's not forget our basket. Let's investigate and see what we have. After all that time cooking, we have a beautiful sauce, rich in flavor. We have all of the herbs that we put in our basket, and we have our garlic and onion all inside. And now we move on to the main part of our recipe, the beef. For our beef shanks, we cooked it with the bones because all the bone marrow melted in with the sauce. As you can see, the bone marrow that was there is not there anymore. It's all inside of our consommé. Now let's debone our beef shanks. The bones should just fall right off. Second bone, the meat just falls right off. Third bone, let's look to see if any pieces fell off on the way. Looks all good. With 2 forks, we will pull all the meat apart. It should be really easy as we cook this meat for over an hour and a half. I like a nice even consistency. And now with movie magic, you'll see me when it's all done. Crush and pull. After about 3 minutes, my beef shank is nice and pulled. If you want to pull it more, you can. I'm happy with what I have. Moving on to our last steps. It's a long recipe, but the final product will be amazing. Let's move our pot. We'll bring our pan up front. We'll grab our tortilla. We will dunk it in our consommé in the pan. And for a video, we'll make 2. Dunk, left, right, and then. So it does not stick, we'll add just a bit of juice. We'll flip. And now, let's build. One side will have cheese. Make sure not to overfill because we will be turning them over. On our cheese, we will add some diced onion, some coriander, and of course the star of our recipe, our beef. To our beef, let's add just a bit of consommé on top. And now the fun part, we need to close our taco. Tap just a bit. We don't want any of the juices to flow out. We'll shake and bake. We'll grab our second one and we'll flip it over. Use your hand if you want, it's not too hot. Tap just a bit so that the cheese and the beef glue together. Flip. Bring the meat back in. Now we'll brown one side, nice and crispy. We'll turn it over and brown the other side. Flip it over, starting to get a nice crispiness. This meat that flew away, we'll put it back inside. And now let's serve. Heat off, grab our plate. One here, one there. And traditionally, our tacos are served with some consommé, so a little bit of consommé like that, and there we have it. Of course, I only have 2 tacos right now, but I have enough to make about 20, but I don't want my video to last hours, so 2 for now and 18 for later. And with that being said, and our 2 first tacos of 20 are done, and thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I'll see you guys next week. See ya, bye.